Chelsea are in the semifinals for the Club World Cup, and in this video today, we're going to talk about the tactics that Enzo Maresca should utilize in this match, and obviously the squad selection, because there are a few different players we will have to select due to suspensions, because we've accumulated quite a few yellow cards for some players, but we'll get to that just shortly. Now, first, let's talk about Fluminense, and I do apologize if I'm mispronouncing that. Portuguese is not my strong suit, let's be real here. But this side obviously has done quite well in the Club World Cup. They beat Borussia Dortmund. They've gone to the semifinals, obviously, and they have a huge player in their back line known as Thiago Silva. I think we're all familiar with what he can do. Despite his age, it does not matter. This man is a rock when it comes to defense. He's obviously done it everywhere he's gone, and he's still doing it despite his age, and this is going to be one of the difficult parts for Chelsea to break down, but I do believe we can break him down along with their defense as well, even though they've been doing very well this entire tournament. Now, obviously, like I said earlier, there are a few key players that we have to substitute in because of suspensions, but really, when we look at this squad, it's starting to already pick itself, which is amazing. I mean, when you think about Chelsea the last handful of years, there's been multiple times we did not know who was going to be starting, where they were going to start, what was going to happen. But like I said, when everyone is fully fit, this team almost selects itself. Now, granted, you could pick and choose a few different players. I understand adding a few different spices to what you want to do depending on who you're playing. But like I said, it all makes sense and it's starting to gel really well. And now, obviously, in my humble opinion, I do like Robert Sanchez. He should be the starting goalkeeper moving into the season. Now, I understand some people are going to say we need a better goalkeeper, but really, when you look at the grand scheme of what Robert Sanchez has done at Chelsea, and yes, I understand he's had his errors, he's led to some goals, he actually is a pretty good goalkeeper. One of the big issues he's always been dealing with, new managers, different back line each and every week. If, again, we can stay fully fit, which we've been doing throughout the Club World Cup for the most part, he actually does quite well and has the confidence with that back line. The confidence of the back line to the goalkeeper makes a huge difference. So again, Robert Sanchez starting between the sticks. Left side, obviously, Cucurella. I mean, I'm not sure who would even play over him for the most part. Now, Levi Colwill cannot play because he does have suspension. So in my humble opinion, it would make sense to probably put Tosin in that position. Now, I could see possibly someone else, but I think Tosin makes the most sense, and he did quite well throughout this tournament as well. Pairing with him, I think Chalba also makes the most sense because what we saw in the quarterfinals, he is a guy that is clearly capable of moving forward and being creative and also adding to our attacking third. So yes, he has a defensive skill set, but he does help in the attacking third as well. So it makes sense for him to be there. Now, Reece James, I do think he's fully fit in this match, but him being out for the last match due to an injury, I'm not too sure if he just felt something. I think it makes more sense to go with Malo Gusto. And again, I understand this is a man that has led to some goals as well. And we just talked about trying to keep that exact back line. But I don't think it's worth risking Reece James. Now, obviously, we want to make it to the final. We want to win the Club World Cup. But to risk an injury to Reece James with the season almost a month away doesn't seem like it makes much sense, because obviously the Premier League is where we really should be focused on. Yes, it's great to win the Club World Cup, but we obviously want to excel in the Premier League. And so again, if we need to rest Reece James a little bit more, it makes more sense there. Now in the midfield, again, we do have Cancedo back. He was out suspension for the quarterfinals, quarterfinals. So therefore, again, he is now back. So obviously he's going to be pairing with Enzo Fernandez. Those two guys play very well together. It makes most sense if we're going to start those guys there. Along with them, I do think Lavia starts in the midfield again, though I could see us tinker this just a little bit. I could see Cole Palmer fitting in that role as well and doing a little more attacking third. But I think if we go with those three players, so Lavia, Cancedo, and Enzo, those three players in the midfield make the most sense. In our attacking third, we cannot have Liam Delap do the suspension as well. So this is a match. I think that João Pedro can really show his potential for Chelsea, which could be a huge implication for Nico Jackson, because if João Pedro does start this match and actually flourishes, it's going to be difficult for Jackson to get into the starting lineup, because with Liam Delap, he should be our number 1, number 9. João Pedro could easily overtake Jackson. And again, that's not to take anything away from Jackson. He's been a great player. I think he is a solid player. But when we're looking at the players and what they actually add to our attacking third, João Pedro is the same as Nico Jackson. But I think he brings that just a little extra creativity. He's not just going with his speed. He can also dribble and pass the ball around inside the 18 yards. So again, it makes more sense for him to start. So I think what we will see then, if we do put Cole Palmer out on the wing, we're going to put him on the right side. We can put João Pedro up front. And I think Noni Madueke does not start anymore for Chelsea. So therefore, again, it makes sense to put Pedro Neto there, or we could flip-flop Neto and Palmer. So again, whatever you want to do with those guys, I don't care. But I do not think Noni's going to be playing for us anymore. Despite what he's done for the club, I think he's on his way out. It seems like things have gone and moved forward with Arsenal. So therefore, again, I don't see why Enzo Maresca would want to utilize him in such an important game, a semifinal with a guy that's about to leave, and there might be some type of clause in the contract as well that he cannot play any more matches or X amount of minutes. So therefore, again, it makes sense to go with these players. Now, Christopher Nkunku could obviously start in one of these roles as well. But again, when we're looking at the midfield, I think it makes most sense to do those three. Obviously, Cole Palmer has to start here, and I think Pedro and Neto are the two guys going to be more creative, and again, have been doing quite well in this entire tournament. So overall, we have a few problems, good problems, because of the multiple selections that we can go with. But overall, I think Chelsea are the better team in this match. Should make it to the final. I do think they're going to play PSG. Now, granted, Real Madrid could obviously be PSG. That can go either way. But Chelsea, I do believe, are the heavy favorites in this one. Not to take anything away from Fluminense, because obviously they are a heavy hitter from Brazil. But I think Chelsea's depth, quality, what they've been able to do recently, I think they have the edge, and they should score multiple goals in this match. Now, do I think Fluminense could obviously win this game? Of course. But I think Chelsea can score multiple goals early on, take control of this match, and should see it out through the end. I do believe we win this one 3-1, maybe even 4-2, but I think we win by multiple goals in this match. I think, again, João Pedro really shows his worth. Cole Palmer is definitely going to show up in this match as well. And like I said, I think this is a match that Chelsea can win and make it to the final and really mark their stamp or stamp their mark on this entire tournament by winning it in the next couple of days. And again, this is something that most people didn't think could happen at Chelsea. I was saying at the beginning, again, maybe I was just optimistic, but still, what I'm seeing with Chelsea right now is something that has been brewing for a while, and it's been now coming together and is finally working out, not just for Enzo Maresca, but for the entire organization, for the entire club. And this is a tournament that Chelsea could really utilize to, again, thrive in the Premier League this upcoming season. So I want to know what you think. Do you think that they can do this? If you do think it, comment down below the outcome of the match, who you think should start for Chelsea. And also, if you have not, if you made it this far, hit the subscribe button. I greatly appreciate it, and I will see you in the next video.